23 asks us to solve for x when 7 divided by the quantity x, 5x minus 2 is equal to 5 divided by the quantity 4x. So here again we have to look for an least common denominator. Notice lately I haven't been doing any factoring. That's because all of our least common denominators have already been simplified. I can't factor anything out of 5x minus 2. I can't factor anything out of 4x. So my least common denominator is just those two terms, 4x times 5, started writing before I was looking, times 5x minus 2. So I need to multiply that to both sides of the equation, 5x minus 2 times 4x times 5. Man, I'm having real trouble writing that 5. Okay, and my entire purpose for doing this is getting rid of those fractions. This number factors of 1 with this number, so I have 7 times 4x, or 28x. This number here factors of 1 with this number, so that's going to be equal to 5 times 5x minus 2. And that number we will just distribute. So 28x is equal to 5 times 5x, or 25x. 5 times negative 2, or minus 10. Now I can subtract the 25x from both sides to get the variable terms all by themselves. Those guys cancel. 28x minus 25x is 3x, and that's equal to negative 10. We use the multiplication principle to divide by 1/3. Basically, what we're doing with the multiplication principle, in case you didn't know, was we're multiplying by the reciprocal. It's essentially the same thing as dividing by 3, right? Because my 3's cancel here. I'm left with x is equal to negative 10 times 1 is negative 10 over 3. And as long as that doesn't violate a domain restriction, which it doesn't, we are okay there. Let's take a look at 25. Let's look at 25. We're in the home stretch here. Finally! Finally now I have to do some factoring. X squared, oops, wrong one. So it's x over x minus 2, it says. And we want to add that to x over x, wow, fail, x squared minus 4, and set that equal to x plus 3 over x plus 2. And I'm going to use my strategy before where I rewrote the LCD several times. This isn't factorable. It's fine. X squared minus 4. That's the difference of two squares. So that's going to factor to x plus 2 times x minus 2, or root plus root times root minus root. And notice that's an x minus 2. There's one there. That's an x plus 2. There's one there. So the LCD in this case is just x plus 2 times x minus 2. And that shouldn't be too hard. So I'm going to do the first one in blue, the next one I'm going to do in green, x plus 2, just so you can see how it interacts, x minus 2, and then pink, x plus 2 times x minus 2. So I'm multiplying basically. I'm just not, instead of writing them in here because it's kind of a mess, I'm just going to go across here. So when I multiply this first term, the blue term, times the LCD, my x minus 2 cancels with my x minus 2, and I'm just left with x times x plus 2. And in my second term in green, I have x plus 2 canceling with the x plus 2, x minus 2 canceling with the x minus 2, and I'm really just left with that plus x there. And then when I multiply my equals, the other side of my equal sign, This number x plus 2 will cancel with that x plus 2, and I'll be left with the quantity x plus 3 times x minus 2. So now I have a little bit of work here. I have to do some distribution before I can do any combining or solving in any case. Here I have to distribute the x to the x and then to the positive 2. X times x is x squared. X times a positive 2 is plus 2x. And then I have another x here. I can just bring that down. Now I do my first, outer, inner, last, also called FOIL, or I like to just call it distribution. Makes like a crab claw. How do you like that? A little crab claw. Okay, so let's do the crab claw. X times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is minus 2x. Now 3 times x is plus 3x. And 3 times negative 2 is minus 6. And I forgot actually. Oh no, everything's good there. Okay, so looking for my like terms. On this side I have x and 2x. So I have x squared plus 2 of something plus 1 more of something is 3x. And on this side I have again my two middle terms there. So that's equal to x squared minus 2 plus 3 is minus plus x plus 1x plus 1x and then minus 6. Let's try getting all of our x's to one side. So if I were to subtract x squared from both sides, oh, look what happens there. They both cancel. So what if I subtracted x from both sides? Well, on this side they cancel, but over here if I have 3 of something and I subtract 1 of that thing, then I'll just be left with 2 of that thing. So 3x minus x is a positive 2x, and that's equal to negative 6. Now dividing by 2, I get x is equal to negative 3. And that's my answer there. 27. 27 says 6 divided by x squared minus 4x plus 3 minus the quantity 1 divided by x minus 3 is equal to 1 divided by 4x minus 4. So let's go ahead. First step always is to look to see if we factor, what do our factors look like, because we will want to cancel where we can. Alright, well in the first term I want to look for factors of positive 3 that'll combine to give me a negative 4. And that should be pretty dang easy, right? Negative 1 and negative 3 gives me a positive 3 multiplied, gives me a negative 4 added. So it'll be x minus 1 times x minus 3. And if we're doing our cheater way, then we would look for any kind of common factors here, and there aren't any. So x squared minus 4x plus 3 factors thusly. So our LCD has at least an x minus 1 times an x minus 3. What else might it have? Well, here is an x minus 3, so we're good there. This is simplified. We can't factor it anymore. So that one's okay, and we already have an x minus 3 there, so we're good. Now, this one here isn't simplified. I have an 4x and a 4 there, so I can factor out a 4. The GCF here is 4. 4 divided by 4 is x. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. So my factors here are 4 times the quantity x minus 1. And lo and behold, we already have an x minus 1 here. So all we need to do to add to our LCD is add 4. Now if I multiply the LCD times the first term, my x minus 1 and my x, both of these terms will cancel, leaving me with just the 4. So 6 times 4 is 24. Now if I multiply the second term, a negative 1 over that, times my LCD, then my x minus 3 will cancel, right? And I'll be left with negative 1 times 4 times the quantity x minus 1. And that'll be equal to, if I multiply the LCD by the equals, the right side of the equation, then my 4 and my x minus 1 will cancel with this 4 and this x minus 1, and I'll only be left with x minus 3. So again, all we're trying to do here is get rid of our fractions. So now let's simplify. 24 is 24. Minus 4 times the quantity x minus 1 equals x minus 3. I just did an extra step so you could see the crab claw. Well, the bottom half of the crab claw anyway. So 24 minus 4 times x is minus 4x. Minus 4 times a negative 1 is a plus 4. And that's equal to, that's a 4. That's equal to x minus 3. I have a like term there and there. So negative 4x plus 28 is equal to x minus 3. Now I can mess around and get it done. I can add 4x to both sides. Those will cancel, and I have 5x minus 3 is equal to 28. Now I can add 3 to both sides, and those will cancel. And I'll get 31 is equal to 5x. And so if I get that 31 is equal to 5x, then I can divide by 5 both sides, and I know that these will cancel. X is equal to 31/5. All right, we are almost home. That was number 27. We have 2 more problems to go, and we'll do them in one more video.